Good morning, and welcome to the Wednesday version of the Scoreboard Morning Report. I guess we can get right at it. NHL scores from last night, quite a few games actually. Big one in Ottawa. Sorry, John McCauley. But for the second night in a row, the Ottawa Senators pummeled the Detroit Red Wings, this time to the tune of 61. Stützle and Tkachuk again scoring goals. Stützle's was a beautiful one on a penalty shot. Elsewhere, Florida 4 over Tampa Bay 1. Hey, Florida needed that win. And, of course, the Leafs needed Tampa Bay to lose. Sabres, sorry Harper, lost to Columbus 5-3. Winnipeg lost to Los Angeles in the shootout 6-5. Minnesota in the shootout 2-1 over Islanders. Pittsburgh 3 at Nashville 1. That's a bit of a blow to all those people. Detroit, Ottawa, Buffalo, all wanting a shot at that last playoff spot. Where were we at? Seattle 5 at St. Louis 3. Boston 4 at Calgary 3, overtime. Chicago 1, Arizona 4, and Montreal 3-1 winners over San Jose. NHL action again tonight. Big one in Edmonton. The Leafs are in Edmonton for that game. I guess we wanted to just to make sure that the cameo was working. Those other games tonight: Rangers at Philadelphia, Arizona at Dallas, New Jersey at Colorado, and a couple of later games, Carolina at Vegas and Washington at Anaheim. We haven't looked at the who's hot and who's not. Well, who's hot part of the NHL. McDavid still in the last 10 games is leading the parade with 22 points. He's right up. He's got his 50 goals, so money in the bank. Couple of Leafs in here. Mitch Marner hanging in with 2 goals, 14 assists, 16 points. And William Nylander, 6 goals, 8 assists for 14 points. And down here at the bottom, you say, why do you have Vinny Trocheck highlighted? Well, Vinny happens to be one of my favorite players. I got to watch him for a full year playing Major Junior. He was the captain of the Saginaw Spirit. He was just the ultimate hockey player. He would lead the rush. He was their leading scorer, but he'd be the first guy back and he'd pick up the puck behind their net. And he was the captain and very encouraging to all the players on that team. No action for Gavin McCarthy in his Oakville Blades. So just a quick look, a refresher here as the standings in that Northwest Conference. We see Oakville mired near the bottom. They do have a 20-point lead on Brantford, but 16 wins and 34 losses. So not a stellar year for the Blades this year, but at the very top and still ranked top 5 nationally, a Collingwood Blues. And, of course, that's where Braves top scorer Luke Chore went to back in December. Look at that, 9 losses only for the year for them. Okay, speaking of Brockville Braves, let's take a look at what happened in the league last night before we take a look at the standings. Smith Falls walloped Carleton Place Canadians 6-0. That's because Carleton Place was sort of challenging the Bears. The Bears have been hot and cold, all season long. And they made a pretty strong statement to the Carleton Place Canadians last night with that 6-0 win. And over in Rockland, the Nationals once again won their second game in a row. This was a shootout over the Navan Grads. That's the second place Navan Grads. League action again tonight. Pembroke's at Nepean. That one's not going to impact too much on either one of those teams. But a big one here in Brockville at 8 o'clock tonight. Rockland Nationals are back playing the Braves. The Braves, well, let's take a look at the standings and see why that is important. But before we jump there, just a reminder, tomorrow night, Ottawa's at Cornwall. That's another big game, primarily for the Colts. Okay, CCHL standings. Look at the Robinson division. Carleton Place was about to put some pressure on the Smith Falls Bears with that 4-point game last night, but they lost it. So it's Bears on top with 67. And then we look down at this next group of Carleton Place, Renfrew, Brockville. And then if we can throw in Hawkesbury from the other division, we can see those points, 61, 60, and 56. Could be a very exciting scramble among those four teams for those spots. So, as I said, Braves, 56 points, and they're playing Rockland tonight. Let's take a look behind them. Kempville 73s, 48 points. But let's go back down to the Iserman division, and we see Cornwall with the identical 48 points. And look who's 2 points behind them, Rockland Nationals. And the Nats have 2 games in hand. Boy, oh boy, it's going to be an exciting finish. Well, that's it for this morning's report. Thanks very much for watching. See everybody tomorrow morning. Thanks again.